Today, I'm reviewing the EarAcoustic Audio Spa High-End Max IEMs. Let's get it. What's cracking, audio fans? It's David here from Prime Audio Reviews. And yes, in case you didn't know, my YouTube channel got hacked, but I'm back in action. So big ups to YouTube for their assistance and to the hackers, and specifically the guy who wrote that hack bot. Fuck you. All right, let's get on with this review. That is the shiny box. And yeah, that's a sign of things to come because the IEMs are shiny. Look at that. Bling bling, eh? Pretty sweet. I think these look great. I don't know if that will be divisive amongst different people. Some might think it a bit effeminate, but I think they look really classy. This is the EarAcoustic logo on the right side, and on the left side we've got a snake motif, and that's because this is commemorating the Year of the Snake. So as you can see, we've got this glittering diamond-like faceplates they are very smooth. They have a clear resin coating on them, and the shells themselves are made from highly polished aluminium alloy. So they look really pretty, but they also feel quite robust, and they've got a bit of heft to them as well. So they don't feel chintzy in any way. They feel rather premium. Let's have a look now at the cable, and there it is, and it's pretty nice. It's rather chunky. It's very similar to like the Moondrop Kato and the Cadence cable. So it's got this clear coating. You can see the silver plated copper, and it's a mix of silver plated copper and OCC copper inside. It's a nice cable. Unfortunately, it's only available at this time with a 3.5mm single-ended termination. But I was talking with EarAcoustic, and apparently in future releases or future models, there will be a 4.4mm version available. And the IEMs also come with this rather stylish zipper carrying case and a pretty good selection of silicone ear tips. But let me tell you more about the Spa High-End Max here. So the price is $289 US. So it is somewhat, it's somewhere like mid-tier. It's more than entry level in terms of pricing. But just look at those shells. Beautiful, aren't they? By the way, quite comfortable. They are somewhat large, but not any bigger than, say, your average The-Audio or Zigat IEM. And inside of these shells, we've got a very large 11.4mm dynamic driver. And now you're probably wondering how these sound. Well, let's get into it. Let's dive right in. So to my ears, the sonic character of the high-end Max here, it feels much like it's shell designed. This might be a weird kind of analogy, but to me, the sound, it kind of shines with sparkle. It's very detailed, yet there's a sense of solidity and weight behind the music as well. The sound is like pristine and polished, just like these polished mirror shells here. But it's also got these smooth, graceful curves, just like the shells again. So that's a bit of a weird analogy, but yeah, the sound reminds me of the way these look. So it's a sound signature that is both refined, yet also quite assertive. Let's throw up the graph, and yeah, pretty nice looking graph, isn't it? Nice and even across. There's no jagged peaks or big dips, so you do get the full response without any loss of detail across there. Somewhat of a U-shaped sound signature. Let's talk about the bass, and the bass is quite impressive. It's punchy, it's fast, it's got great definition, it's got good control, yet it doesn't feel bloated, it doesn't feel loose in any way. It's nice and tight and well behaved. It's got plenty of slam, enough to give drums and bass lines authority, and thanks to that large driver, it's also got excellent sub-bass reach. So it can rumble when it's needed. It doesn't bleed into the mid-range. It does a little bit, but not in a bad way. It doesn't muddy up the stage at all. So despite the, really refined, pristine look or aesthetic of this IEM, it does have a bit of a fun element when it comes to sound. Then in the mid-range sits in a really nice spot. It's clear, it sounds natural, it doesn't sound sterile or analytical, nor does it sound overly rich or congested. Instruments have got good separation and air between them, and the timbre is pretty spot on. So really nice mid-range timbre here. Guitars have that nice combination of texture, body and bite with just a little bit of shimmer on the top end. Male vocals are full without sounding chesty, and female vocals have presence and energy, but they're not shouty. They are powerful and vivid, but they're not sharp or piercing. And now for the treble, which is crisp and airy. It's got good extension again and no harsh peaks or big dips. It's a clean treble. It's not clinical though. It lets acoustic instruments shimmer and decay naturally. Hi-hats and cymbals, have just the right amount of zing and sparkle. They're detailed and lively, but never sizzling. So it's a kind of a delicate, airy treble, but it doesn't sound harsh or sharp. In terms of sibilance, every now and then there is a little bit that comes through, but it's very few and far between. I noticed it mostly with a couple of podcasts that I listened to, but I didn't really notice it when listening to music. Let's talk about soundstage and technicalities next. So the soundstage, I'll just move that case out of the way. So the soundstage feels open and spacious. It gives everything room to breathe in there. The driver in here responds well to dynamic shifts and layering. So not only is it a large driver, but it is also a high quality driver. Transients are snappy, resulting in good instrument separation and a nice natural edge to percussion attacks and instrument attacks. Nothing sounds artificially sharp, nor does it sound artificially softened. It's just the right, somewhere in that Goldilocks region. Comparison time. Let's start today with the SIMGOT EA1000 IEM. This is also a single dynamic driver IEM. The EA1000 has a leaner sound signature because its lows or its bass is tighter. It's slightly more defined in the bass, but the SIMGOT has less impact in the low end than the Spa high-end Max. The EA1000's mids are more forward. Vocals and instruments have a thinner note size on the EA1000, and in addition, the treble is more forward in the mix due to that attenuated bass level. So the SIMGOT is airier than the Spa high-end Max. It sounds a little bit more spacious. It has a wider sound stage, but its notes don't have as much density. Both IEMs have a similar level of detail retrieval, and both of these are fantastic IEMs, but the Spa high-end Max has just got a little more body and fullness and bass impact, but it still has excellent detail retrieval. It still has a fairly airy treble, but the EA1000 slightly more high fidelity, but it's not as much fun. Now then we've got the Moondrop Cadence IEM, another single dynamic driver. It also has a brighter presentation, and that's because again this has a more attenuated but also tighter bass. It has a thinner mid-range, thinner note size for vocals and instruments in the mid-range. It has a fairly forward treble, or perceived level of forwardness due to that, again, attenuated bass, whereas the Spa high-end Max has more body and fullness in the mid-bass and the lower mid-range. My choice of these two would definitely be the Spa high-end Max. I never really got into the Cadence that much. I think it's just focused too much on that pinner gain, that presence region. It doesn't have enough bass presence in the bass to balance that out. So that is the EarAcoustic Audio Spa high-end Max IEM. I like these quite a lot, actually. I do like their sound signature. I love the build quality of the shells and the faceplates. I don't mind those at all. I think these look pretty lit. So yeah, despite being a little bit more expensive, $289, I think you do get your money's worth in terms of resolution. They've got a nice sonic character that's got a bit of fun in it, but still high fidelity, very detailed sound. So overall, it's a good IEM, and I can't wait to see what EarAcoustic audio does in the future. Having said that, it's time to wrap it up. So thanks for watching the video. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up, Pa Family Audiophile style. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button before you go. And until next time, I'll see you later.